Hi, I'm Peter Konoski. Some of you already have met me in the class preceding this one. I'm the Deputy Director of the Fenner School, which is a school that hosts this course, jointly with the College of Arts and Social Sciences. And I just wanted to welcome all of you who are new to university studying to ANU today. I've already welcomed some of you, so bear with me while I welcome you again. And some of you are not new at ANU this year, you're coming back after being here last year, so bear with me. But it's a very important step you've taken to embark on learning with us here at ANU, one of Australia and the world's great universities, because we have great staff and students. So thanks for joining the team. And in choosing this course, you've chosen very wisely, I think, because you've chosen a course that has award-winning teachers, Richard Baker here and Alistair Gregg sitting over in the front here. Each of Richard and Alistair have won awards for the quality of their teaching, and this course that you're about to start today has won a national award for its quality and its effectiveness in helping you learn. So I really welcome you and congratulate you on your wisdom in choosing the ANU and this course, and look forward to working with you in various ways over the course of your study here at ANU. One of my responsibilities is for the teaching that our school offers, and so I'll be interacting with you in various ways during your time as students, and I look forward to doing that. With that, I'll hand you to Richard and to Alistair, and enjoy your time at ANU.
Thanks, Peter. And just to reiterate Peter's welcome here, I know for some of you it's your first day at university, and others have been here a long time. This course has been going for 6 or 7 years now, and it's the first, I think it's still the only combined arts and science course. So as the course develops, you'll hear more and more about Alice and I talking about the connections between the social sciences, the biophysical sciences, and the need to integrate those two as we address the great issue facing this planet in terms of how we become a more sustainable planet. To reiterate Peter's comments about being at ANU and the opportunities here, ANU is ranked in the top 20 universities in the world. We're very proud of the quality of teaching and learning here. There's extraordinary opportunities in terms of the resources this university has to offer, and also increasingly we're building links with other universities in that top 20 in the world. So I've just come back from a meeting in Oxford and Yale, Oxford and Cambridge, talking about a collaboration which includes those two universities, other universities like Yale and Berkeley, Beijing and Tokyo, and the idea of summer courses, which you can all apply to do from this year on, summer in the Northern Hemisphere sense, so they'll be in June, July. So opportunities for ANU students to engage with the best students in the world. I'd like to start by getting you to think about what a university is. Anyone here can read Latin, so I can't, but that quote basically is a Latin phrase about a community of scholars and teachers. That's what a university is. So that's the origin of the concept of universities. A community of scholars and learning interacting. You can see from this lecture that lectures haven't changed in some ways. You have the lecturer out the front, people asleep in the audience. Perhaps they had a heavy night equivalent of Mooseheads 600 years ago, and sleep in the back. There's also people talking in the class, which I prefer you don't do all the time, but we will be having quite a few activities in the class where we'll get to interact. And also, as I explained, Alistair and I's teaching philosophy isn't that we are the sage on the stage there. We very much see our roles as guides on the side to help facilitate your learning through this course, and we'll say more about that today. So, in terms of what we're trying to cover today, we won't be too ambitious, but I just warn you that we don't often get through everything we have in our overheads, and also we have to put the overheads on the webpage the night before, so I did that last night. You're welcome to look at those before the lectures each week, and we try to cover most of that material, but if something happens on the morning of the lecture, obviously being a contemporary course, we'll update it. So we want to welcome you and have some introductions in terms of the staff responsible for this course. Both Alice and I want to say a bit about teaching and learning. The theme of learning is a kind of meta theme for the course, so we're interested in how people learn about the environment. So a key issue about managing the planet in a more sustainable way is obviously for communities, individuals around the world to have a better understanding of the local limits, local capacities and the global capacity of our environment. So we're very much focusing on how people learn about the environment. And the key thing about that we'll be stressing in the course is that different cultures, different people see the environment in different ways. So in some ways environmental issues are uniquely complex in terms of this cultural specificity of environmental issues. So different people see the environment in different ways. In many cases there's no right answer. So often people, some stage in their first year of the SRES course, particularly this one, express some frustration, come up to Alistair and I say, what is the answer, Richard or Alistair? And we say, well, it depends, doesn't it? Depends on the situation, depends on the community, depends where you sit in terms of those resources. Depends on your understanding scope, which is a concept we'll hear more about from Alistair, about how individuals and how communities see the environment. We'll give you a chance to say a bit about how you see teaching and learning, and that will be a lead into me explaining the assessment. And like those who were in the previous course, so the previous lecture, we want you to give us some feedback on what you think about that assessment. And if there's time at the end, I want us to start us thinking about the three key issues of this course: environment, society, and resources. And I want to link them with a key concept for the course, which is equity. And I want to talk about the idea at the centre of this course is about who gets what, where, and how. So we're talking about the allocation of scarce resources when we're talking about the environment, whether it be healthy drinking water, healthy air. Increasingly around the planet, we have to think about how we manage those resources. Just before we go on to introduce the staff, I want to give a special welcome to the international students. So each year we're privileged today to have about 20% of the student population being international students, and it brings a real dimension to our learning, which I want all the Australian students to take advantage of, and also obviously for international students to learn from each other, both from the Australian students and the other students. A couple of years ago in the course, third year course I teach called Environmental Policy and Planning, we have a workshop and students have to run themselves. And the workshop this week is on public participation in environmental policy and planning. It was one of the best classes I've ever been to. I didn't have to say anything. It was facilitated by 3 international students. One was an East Timorese student involved in the post-Indonesian war reconstruction of that country. He had a unique perspective on developing countries dealing with crises. Another was a Bhutanese forester who had a lot to say about issues in terms of another developing country, how it deals with natural resource issues. And the third was a Japanese environmentalist. Extraordinary dynamic in the room. And I felt like slapping the Australians on the face and saying, pay attention to this. You're not going to get this type of learning environment every day, every week. So do take advantage of the perspective that everybody has in this course. So that obviously relates to everybody. The tutorials, as I'll explain, are set up for people to learn from each other, and they're a very crucial part of the course. I'm conscious that some of the international students are going to find some of the terms I use, that Alistair and I use, and we can't avoid it, are intrinsically Australian. The focus of this course is global, but many of our case studies are Australian-based. So to help deal with that problem, I want to continue a thing I've done in the past, which is offer anyone who wants to come, but particularly international students, to come and have Tim Tams for those overseas. These are Australian chocolate biscuits, which are quite famous or infamous, depending on your point of view. And we can have coffee, green tea or black tea. But you need to come with some questions that you want me to answer. And even better still, if you could send it to me the night before, it gives me a bit of time to get organised if it's a complex question. So do take advantage of that. The other group of students I want to welcome to the course, and the next sitting in the room, are students from the National University of Singapore. So as you explore the web page, you'll see that 3 of our tutorials are going to be done collaboratively with a group of students sitting in a similar class in Singapore. So I've already talked about the importance of cross-cultural understandings when we're talking about environmental issues. It doesn't make sense to have a solution that only makes sense in one place. It doesn't make sense to develop solutions and then export them to other places if they don't work. So we're very keen for you as a group and the National University of Singapore students to compare your perspectives on the world, and I think it's going to add something very important to this course, that dimension. So hello to National University of Singapore and welcome, and you guys will have the chance to interact with them in various ways, as you'll see, as the tutorial cycle develops.